Today, we're diving into one of life's most fascinating secrets, the extraordinary power of silence in manifestation. Has this ever happened to you? You get excited about a new goal, maybe starting a business, losing weight, or learning a new skill, and immediately tell everyone about it, only to find your motivation mysteriously vanishing days later. Have you ever noticed that the moment you share your biggest dreams with others, they somehow become harder to achieve? What if I told you there's a hidden force at work, one that few people understand, yet it's powerful enough to completely transform your reality? There's a reason for this phenomenon, and it goes deeper than simple psychology. The universe operates on energetic principles that most people never discover. When you keep your intentions private, working silently toward your goals, you create an undiluted energetic field around your desires. This protected energy accelerates manifestation in ways that might seem almost magical to those who don't understand the mechanism behind it. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover might completely change how you approach your deepest desires and ambitions. The renowned psychologist Carl Jung spent decades researching consciousness and how our minds interact with reality. His groundbreaking work revealed something extraordinary, that reality isn't fixed or predetermined, but rather a projection shaped by our minds. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Jung discovered what he called the neuronal field, an invisible matrix where all possibilities already exist. When we align our consciousness with this field through specific practices, we can literally transform our life experience from the inside out. Think about that for a moment. What if the limitations you're experiencing aren't coming from external circumstances, but from internal programming you never consciously chose? The science of consciousness shows us that by altering your internal frequency, the vibration at which your thoughts and emotions operate, you can fundamentally change what manifests in your external reality. What you perceive as obstacles might simply be reflections of beliefs you've unwittingly accepted. What you're about to discover in this video are practical techniques to harness this knowledge. Methods that don't require years of spiritual training or special abilities, just a willingness to work with universal principles rather than against them. Now, imagine having the ability to manifest opportunities effortlessly, to have the right people cross your path exactly when you need them, to watch doors open that once seemed permanently closed. This isn't fantasy. It's what happens when you understand the delicate relationship between intention, silence, and energy. Think about the most profound transformations that have occurred throughout history, whether in science, spirituality, or personal achievement. There's a hidden truth that connects them all. The greatest breakthroughs consistently happen in secrecy, away from the noise and interference of the outside world. This is why masters across all disciplines intuitively guard their most important work until it's ready to be revealed. When you share your plans prematurely, something subtle yet powerful occurs on an energetic level. Your vibration, that unique frequency that determines what you attract into your life, becomes immediately vulnerable to external influences. Every doubtful comment, every well-meaning but limiting piece of advice, every skeptical glance chips away at the pure energy you've cultivated around your vision. This isn't merely spiritual speculation. Modern neuroscience has uncovered a fascinating revelation about how our brains process intentions. When you verbalize a goal or plan to someone else, your brain actually releases dopamine, the same reward neurotransmitter that would be released upon actually achieving that goal. This creates a neurological short circuit in your motivation system. Essentially, your brain records that you've already received part of the reward simply by talking about your intentions. The result? That burning drive you felt to take action gradually diminishes. Studies have shown that people who publicly announce their goals are significantly less likely to follow through compared to those who keep their intentions private until they've made substantial progress. This explains the journey of so many dreamers who start with excitement, tell everyone about their plans, and then mysteriously lose momentum. It wasn't lack of willpower. It was a fundamental misunderstanding of how manifestation actually works behind the scenes. Your mindset transformation begins with this understanding. Silence isn't just golden, it's generative. It creates a protected space where your ideas can develop roots deep enough to withstand inevitable challenges. Ancient wisdom traditions weren't promoting secrecy out of mysticism, but from a profound understanding of energy dynamics that modern science is only beginning to verify. The decisions you make about who you share your vision with, and when, can have more impact on your success than almost any other factor. Consider this: when a seed is first planted, it requires darkness and protection. Only after developing sufficient strength does it emerge into the light. Your most precious goals deserve the same careful nurturing. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore how our subconscious mind creates our reality in ways most people never realize. The programming you received long before you had any say in the matter is silently directing the opportunities you encounter or miss every single day. Write in the comments, "I protect my vision," if you've experienced this phenomenon of sharing goals too early and watching your motivation fade. Your awareness of this pattern is the first step in reclaiming your manifestation power. Have you ever studied the behind-the-scenes approach of truly exceptional achievers? There's a fascinating pattern that emerges when you look closely at how they operate. Whether in business, art, science, or any field of profound impact, they almost universally follow this hidden principle. They act first and speak later. This isn't coincidence. It's a deliberate strategy that protects the creative process during its most vulnerable stages. Consider the journey of any visionary who has changed the world. They rarely broadcast their revolutionary ideas in the embryonic phase. Instead, they nurture these concepts in private, shielded from the well-meaning but often limiting perspectives of others. By maintaining this sacred silence, they create what quantum physicists might call a coherent field, a concentrated vibrational energy that actually magnetizes resources, insights, and opportunities aligned with their vision. If you're ready to dive deeper into manifestation and universal principles, hit that subscribe button now. I share powerful techniques and hidden truths that most people never discover about creating the reality you truly desire. What's truly revelatory about this approach is that it doesn't require grand gestures. Small, consistent actions performed silently generate momentum that eventually becomes unstoppable. Each private step forward reinforces your energetic commitment to the outcome, while simultaneously training your nervous system to accept this new reality as inevitable. This is the transformation that occurs beneath the surface, invisible to others, but powerfully reshaping your relationship with possibility. But to truly understand why this works, we need to examine the extraordinary influence your subconscious mind has on everything you experience. Think of your conscious mind as merely the tip of an iceberg. The subconscious represents the massive structure beneath the water, determining your direction and speed without your awareness. From your earliest childhood, your mind has been absorbing programming that now functions as the operating system for your entire life experience. When someone told you money doesn't grow on trees or people like us don't achieve things like that, These weren't just casual comments. They became deeply embedded instructions that your subconscious faithfully executes every day. Your subconscious doesn't judge whether these beliefs serve your highest potential. It simply runs the software it was given. This explains why so many people experience the same disappointing patterns repeatedly, despite their conscious desires for something different. The mindset architecture beneath their awareness is actually designed to create precisely the limitations they're trying to overcome. What makes this mechanism so powerful is that your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. It responds to emotional intensity and repetition, regardless of whether the information is factual or beneficial. This is why protecting your goals from negative external voices becomes so crucial. Your subconscious absorbs everything, including the doubts and limitations others project onto your dreams. Let's now explore how you can begin reprogramming this internal database to align with what you truly want to manifest, rather than what you've been conditioned to expect. Drop "I'm reclaiming my power" in the comments if you've recognized how your subconscious beliefs might be creating your current reality. Acknowledging this influence is the first step toward consciously reshaping it. Reprogramming your subconscious mind isn't merely about positive thinking, it's a deliberate rewiring of your internal blueprint. The most effective approach involves consistent repetition of new thought patterns, coupled with the emotional resonance that makes these patterns stick. Your subconscious isn't particularly moved by intellectual arguments. It responds to the language of feeling and vivid imagery. Think about the revelation this represents. The same mechanism that once installed your limitations can now become the pathway to your liberation. Each time you replace a thought like "I never have enough money" with "resources flow to me easily," you're not just engaging in wishful thinking, you're literally recoding the operating system that generates your life experience. The catalyst in this transformation process is emotion. When you pair your new affirmations with genuine feeling states, the pride, joy, gratitude, and excitement you would naturally experience if these statements were already your reality, you accelerate their integration into your subconscious architecture. This emotional component acts as the bridge between intellectual understanding and embodied knowing. What's fascinating is how this inner alignment creates a ripple effect in your external circumstances. As your subconscious accepts these new programs, you naturally begin making different decisions, noticing different opportunities, and attracting experiences that mirror your updated internal landscape. The journey from limitation to possibility happens first within, then manifests without, a principle understood by wisdom traditions long before modern psychology caught up. This inner harmony eventually leads to what psychologists call a flow state, a condition of optimal experience where you're fully immersed in the present moment, neither dwelling on past failures nor anxiously fixated on future outcomes. In flow, your actions become effortless, time seems to expand or contract, and your creative capacity reaches extraordinary heights. This is the state where synchronicities begin to multiply in your life. Carl Jung dedicated significant research to these meaningful coincidences that defy conventional explanation. He observed how, when someone enters a particular psychological state, external events seem to organize themselves in supportive patterns. The right person calls at precisely the right moment. The exact resource you need suddenly appears. Opportunities arise that couldn't have been logically predicted. These synchronicities aren't random. They emerge when your conscious intentions align with your subconscious programming, creating a coherent field that resonates with similar energies in the universe. It's as though reality itself begins cooperating with your deepest desires, orchestrating circumstances beyond what linear planning could achieve. The hidden truth here is that synchronicity is available to anyone who learns to maintain this internal coherence. What makes this approach so revolutionary is that it doesn't require changing external circumstances first. It works from the inside out. As you release resistance to your present reality while simultaneously holding a clear vision of what you're creating, you enter a paradoxical state where manifestation accelerates while attachment to outcomes diminishes. Type "I welcome synchronicity" in the comments if you've ever experienced one of those inexplicable coincidences that felt meaningful beyond chance. Your awareness of these moments is already expanding your capacity to attract more of them. One of the most profound revelations on this journey comes when you discover the paradoxical relationship between desire and manifestation. There's a subtle but crucial distinction between wanting something with clarity and craving it with desperation. When you desperately desire an outcome, constantly checking for evidence of its arrival, you actually create an energetic resistance that blocks the very thing you're trying to attract. Join our community of conscious creators by subscribing to this channel. Every video is designed to help you unlock your limitless potential and transform your life through proven principles of manifestation. Think about the mechanics of this process. Desperate wanting carries the implicit message that you don't believe you already have or deserve what you seek. This contradiction creates a dissonant frequency that makes manifestation nearly impossible. It's like planting a seed while simultaneously digging it up every few hours to check if it's growing. The very act of checking disrupts the natural development process. The transformative alternative is developing what spiritual teachers call surrendered manifestation, setting crystal clear intentions about what you desire to create, then releasing attachment to exactly when and how it arrives. This isn't passive resignation, but rather an active trust in the intelligence of the universe to deliver your intention through the optimal pathway, which may differ from what your limited perspective can envision. This surrender requires a profound paradigm shift from control to trust. When you're constantly trying to micromanage how your desires should manifest, you restrict the universe to the narrow band of possibilities you can imagine, rather than allowing it access to infinite paths of fulfillment. The revelation here is that your intellect can only perceive a tiny fraction of the potential routes to your goal. Surrender opens you to all of them. Behind the scenes of every lucky break or miracle is this precise state of mind, absolute clarity about the destination, coupled with complete flexibility about the journey. Those who master this balance experience a remarkable phenomenon where opportunities seem to materialize effortlessly, almost as if reality itself is conspiring in their favor. Now let's bridge this understanding into practical application. Knowledge without implementation creates no impact in your life. Begin by selecting one principle from everything we've discussed and commit to practicing it consistently for at least 21 days, the minimum time required to begin rewiring neural pathways. Perhaps you'll choose to protect your intentions by keeping them private, or maybe you'll focus on reprogramming your subconscious through nightly visualization. The pre-sleep period is particularly powerful for this work. As you drift towards sleep, your brain naturally shifts into theta and delta frequencies, states where the subconscious becomes exceptionally receptive to new programming. Spend these precious minutes consciously visualizing yourself already living your desired reality, feeling the emotions that accompany this achievement. This isn't daydreaming. It's strategic consciousness repatterning. Throughout your day, practice recognizing resistance whenever it arises. When you feel frustration, impatience, or doubt about your manifestations, these emotions are valuable signals that you've temporarily fallen out of alignment. Rather than fighting these feelings, observe them with curiosity. Share I embrace surrender in the comments if you've noticed how pushing too hard for what you want often seems to push it further away. This awareness is the beginning of a whole new relationship with manifestation. As we bring this journey together to a close, I want to thank you for exploring these powerful concepts with me. The principles we've discussed today have transformed countless lives, including my own, and I'm genuinely excited to see how they'll manifest in your unique journey. If you found value in these insights about silent manifestation and the power of protecting your intentions, I'd be honored to have you join our community of conscious creators. Subscribing to this channel means we can continue this exploration together, diving deeper into the hidden mechanics of reality and how to harness them in your everyday life. I'm curious, did any of these ideas particularly resonate with you? Type "the universe flows through me" in the comments if you made it to the end and feel called to implement these practices. Your comment becomes a powerful declaration of intent and helps others discover this message who might need it most. If you found this conversation valuable, a simple like creates ripples that extend far beyond what you might imagine. It helps others seeking these same insights to find their way here too. That's how we build a community of people committed to living in alignment with universal principles rather than struggling against them. There's a video right here that explores how to specifically apply these manifestation principles to dissolve financial blockages in your life. If you're ready to take the next step in your journey, click and continue with me over there. The universe has perfect timing, and perhaps there's a reason these videos have come together in your path today. Until next time, remember that the most profound transformations often happen in silence, away from the world's eyes. Trust the process, protect your vision, and watch as doors begin to open in ways you never imagined possible.